You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 17th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Common Council Finance Committee. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Michigan City Finance Committee meeting. Today is December 17th, 2024. The time now is 6:02 p.m. Starting off with roll call, Mr. Beatrice.
Present.
Dr. Cora.
Present.
Tracy Tillman, present. All in attendance, we do have a quorum. Starting off, we will go over the Michigan City Riverboat and Boyd, the revised claim docket for December 17th, 2024. Riverboat Fund 2235, $267,430.05. Riverboat EFT Fund 2235, $1 million. Board Development Fund 2504, $0. Total claims $1,267,430.05. Those claims are for LaPorte County Project, $5,804.40. Woodruff and Sons Inc., $261,625.65, totaling $267,435. The $5,804.40 was for work completed for project documents and requests for payments per the change order. City of Michigan City, and that was with projects management. Then we also have which was also for the infrastructure, water and sewer infrastructure to the east side of the annexation. And that is all that we have for the claims docket for December 17th. Again, that is for $1,267,430.05. Is there a motion to approve claims?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Beatrice. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Cora.
I have a question, Madam President.
Yeah.
Regarding the $1 million, what was that spent for?
The million? It's on the budget sheet.
Yes, and it was for the EFT of $1 million, yes.
It's broken down
Yes,
to cemetery, general fund.
and park operating.
Okay,
And
it's
the park.
distributed into various funds here. Yeah.
Yes,
But mostly $500,000 has gone into the general operating.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome. And is that a second?
That's a second.
That is a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Motion carries. Also, we have the City of Michigan City 2024 Riverboat Fund Statement of Cash Position. Fund Type 12, Fund 2235 Riverboat Fund, fiscal year to date, December 31st, 2024, ending balance $630,381.92. Fund Type 2236 Rainy Day Fund, $1,848,763.71. That is a grand total ending balance of $2,479,145.63. Also, tonight during the city council meeting, there will be a resolution coming forth in regards to the 11th addition to the city plans for the use of American Rescue Plan Act, as we know it as ARPA, funds and amending certain prior ARPA resolutions. Are there any comments or questions by the committee at this time?
No.
There are none. Do we have any public comments?
Good evening. How y'all
Good
doing this
evening, Mayor.
evening? So, tonight's, resolution is for the reallocation piece of that. I know that, you've seen the list before with Homeward Bound and some of those other ones, but they already fit into a bucket. So those won't be present. I think there might be some confusion. I just want to make sure that, everything that you see tonight is just for a reallocation of funds that may not have been spent for prior, projects where we might have had money left over. But then there was the bucket with the home, there was beautification, some others. So there are a list of projects that we've discussed that I kind of presented to you. You won't see those tonight because we can do those already. So those were subtracted from the totals. And then everything else was reallocated into the bucket so that we could do some things that we needed for the city, like get some vehicles, the truck for refuse. I know we had money in the quiet zone, for instance, and a refuse truck. We're gonna, one of those items, that's a big ticket item. That's usually about $350,000. We're getting it for like 284. So we're moving money around so that we can kind of backstop our next year's budget and still do some good stuff. I think moving some money and doing some rental assistance and doing some of those things are going to be quite helpful for the community. So I think there's a balance. You see a healthy amount chunk of that money is for city services, and then another chunk is for the community. So I think it's a good way to balance the money because we thought we were going to spend it all on annexation and we didn't. So this is a good thing. All the projects are coming in under budget, so that's a beautiful thing that we can do some urban gardens and some pollinator gardens and some different things. So we're just trying to wrap up all of the legal things that we have to do before the end of the year so that we don't lose a dime or a penny of this money. After this is done today, we still have a few more steps that we have to take as administration. We have to make sure all the interagency agreements between the departments are completed. We need to make sure that if there are any outstanding or POs that need to be created, but our goal is to try to get as much stuff spent within the city's purview that we can. But this is just the first step and our last step in getting this done. So, you have any questions for me?
Mayor Angie, I wanted to ask you, a few months ago, we had a work session and we allocated some of this ARPA money. And then some of them we have not spent that much money, so we were able to reallocate that. Are there things that we originally wanted to do that we are not able to do?
I wouldn't say that because, like, I kind of listened to what everybody was saying as far as what types of things they would want to see. So, by doing an interagency agreement, like for instance with the park department, there's a hundred something $1,000, 200,000. I have to look, but that still allows us to do neighborhood stuff. With the EDC, for instance, we have a bucket of money for neighborhood leadership development and neighborhood organizational development so they can create new neighborhood associations and continue providing funding for the Neighborhood Leadership Academy to do projects.
Okay.
So rental assistance, that was new. That's $120,000 that we're talking about. That is a part of that home bucket. Homeward Bound is a part of that home bucket. Housing, keep saying home.
Right.
Housing bucket. Water assistance, maybe $10,000. Ramp building, $10,000. So I think we're hitting a little bit of everything. We also have been afforded the opportunity to work with NIPSCO for urban garden on the west side. We talk about there being it being a food desert. Well, NIPSCO is matching whatever we give in ARPA for that garden. So that garden will probably be up and running next year. So now we'll have Walker Street, we'll have the west side. So looking for other ways to leverage the money that we have. So I think we'll hit everything. We have money in for sidewalks, $200,000. for sidewalks. We're giving money to neighborhood associations to help with their lighting or projects they want to do because they're already established. I know we had some lighting issues in Eastport, so I talked to the Eastport Neighborhood Association. I said, well, it'd be easier for you to identify your needs and issues and let us give you the money to support it. And you just provide us a report. It makes it easier than us going out trying to put lights up. Let the neighborhood association who's dealing with the day-to-day ground issues kind of make those decisions. So I feel like we're actually doing a lot more than we expected to do.
Okay.
I think the housing bucket is a little bit harder. You know, you don't get a whole lot done, but we do have an interagency agreement with that is going to be with CDBG. They do a lot of the home repair and maintenance. So some people fall out of that bucket where they don't quite qualify. Now we have this other bucket of ARPA money that may be able to help somebody get a furnace or windows. And so I think for the community's sake, this is a good thing because the people who don't necessarily qualify, they fill out the application, and if they don't fall into this bucket, they might fall into this bucket.
Right. So when you say housing, is it like a rental assistance or is it housing to improve or upgrade their
No,
infrastructure?
it's both.
Both. Okay.
It's both. So with the North Central Community Action Agency, that's rental assistance. They say they run out of money within 7 days when they get their money. So we don't want people to be unhoused. The second part of that is for rehabilitation of homes, and that's the biggest bucket. It's like $250,000, and so I think we're hitting people who might lose housing, and then we're hitting people who are in their homes that need more help in securing their homes to make it more efficient. So I think we kind of hit a little bit of everybody in doing that.
And if you could also comment on recently, we got this Lilly grant for Northwest Indiana, $20 million, focus more on housing. Can you comment on where we are going to spend that money?
Yeah, so between the Unity Foundation in partnership with the cities and the county received a Lilly match, and I'm glad you brought that up. I should probably get my notes for that. But for us, it's supporting one of our READY projects, but also our planning department. There's money in there for us to upgrade or help with our upgrades that we're already doing for permitting and planning and trying to get us, I would say level set us. But also there's money for infill housing. So the EDC, Redevelopment Commission, along with myself, we have been working with some churches that own quite a bit of property. And so they're not developers, they don't build homes. So there was some money set aside in there to support the survey work, the site work for projects with the local organizations, churches that own this property, whether they want to do senior housing, rental housing, whatever they might want to do. They're not experts, and they can't, typically churches can't afford to go out and hire an engineer or an architect. So we actually asked for a bucket of money to support that initiative, and that was funded as well. So you'll see things that start happening in neighborhoods where there's vacant lots that some of the churches own. And the goal is to we're working with a couple of different organizations that work on low income housing. So this is our opportunity to fill that gap too. So it's a good thing. So we have a big to do on Thursday for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
A quick question. I know it's not a lot. I think it's 18,000 plus on the opioid settlement.
Well, no, that's just that was in addition to what we get. That was a different. So what's been happening with the opioid settlement money is every time there's another lawsuit that's settled, additional money ends up in that bucket. So we have about $500,000 in restricted money. I know that I'm going to be bringing something forth in the beginning of the year Um, my goal is to contribute to the respite home. But I need to bring the council up to speed, but we had so much going on at the end of the year. The goal is to get that on the agenda. But I am gonna be seeking proposals from organizations that work in that space, for $5,000 to $25,000 grants to, focus on that. I received one already from Ware. Um, we are all in recovery. I've been supporting them, Dr. Cora. They're doing a great, fantastic job. So I know there's funds needed for people who are actually doing the work. So we have about $500,000 in restricted funds that can be used specifically for that. County, I know, committed 750,000. Mickey Webb has sent me a formal proposal for 250,000. And so I do plan on presenting that to the council in January.
Where's Mickey working now?
LaPorte County Drug Free Task Force.
Oh,
And
okay.
then it was a group of us countywide that have been working on this project. Kelly kind of fills in for me now. We've been working on this project. Don Privilinski was part. We've done some visits, and we felt that Mickey was the best equipped to so we brought her on last year, kind of from a contractual basis about the respite home. Yeah, so she's very good.
If I could add, Franciscan Alliance has donated land for that respite house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna talk through location. Yeah, that's a process. We're happy that they donated the land and everything, but there's a zoning process for that, and so that'll be something that we have to take on. But I'm looking at some other alternatives too that might be, supportive for that. But I do believe it's a good use of money that we support it as a city. So, yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. Are there any other public comments at this time? Do we have anyone online? There are none. May I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So.
Support.
Thank you and have a good evening.